I worked late again, I said as I stepped inside the living room. The site inspection ran longer. Clara didn't look up from the sofa. Funny how you're always working late when money goes missing. I froze. What? Evan leaned against the wall, arms crossed. Don't act surprised. We all know what Grandpa left behind. My chest tightened. Arthur didn't leave me anything. You know that. Clara finally turned, her eyes sharp. Then explained the missing cash from his private account. I don't have access to his accounts, I said. I never did. Evan laughed. You lived closest to him. You took care of him. Who else could it be? I looked at my father. Dad. Richard stared at the floor. Your stepmother just wants answers. So do I said. Because I didn't steal anything. Clara stood up. Enough lies. I warned Arthur about trusting you. That hurt more than I expected. I sat with him every night. I fed him. I held his hand when he couldn't sleep. Evan shrugged. Good acting doesn't make you innocent. My hands shook. Check my bank account. Check everything. Clara waved dismissively. We already did. Nothing shows because you're smarter than we thought. That's insane, I said. Arthur loved all of us. He pitied you, Clara snapped. There's a difference. I swallowed. He believed in me. Evan stepped closer. Believed you'd take advantage. I turned to my father again. Say something. Richard rubbed his temples. This is getting ugly. Because you're letting it, I said. Clara pointed toward the door. I won't have a thief under my roof. My heart slammed. This is my home. It stopped being your home when you betrayed this family, she said. I didn't betray anyone. Evan scoffed. You always play the victim. I laughed bitterly. I worked 2 jobs while you dropped out. Clara raised her voice. Pack your things. I stared at her. You can't be serious. Richard finally looked up. Maybe some space would help. I felt something crack. You're choosing silence again. He didn't answer. I walked to my room in a daze. My bag sat under the bed. I threw clothes inside without thinking. Arthur's old photo slipped from the drawer. I tried. I whispered to it. Clara stood in the doorway. Take only what's yours. It was all his once, I said. She smirked. Not anymore. I zipped the bag and walked past her. Evan followed me. You should have stayed in your place. I did, I said. You just hated that it wasn't beneath you. He shoved the door open. Don't come back. I stepped outside. Rain hit my face like needles. Richard stayed inside. Dad, I called. The door closed. I stood there, soaked, shaking, holding my bag. Arthur's voice echoed in my head. Family isn't blood. It's who stands when it's hard. I laughed softly. Guess I misunderstood. The house lights stayed on. Mine went out. I walked down the steps, each one heavier than the last. I wasn't angry yet. I was empty, and that scared me more than anything. The bench was cold, even through my jacket. I stared at the streetlight above me and said, This isn't real. I'm not actually here. No one answered. A bus roared past, spraying water onto the sidewalk. I didn't move. My stomach growled, loud enough to embarrass me, even though no one was listening. Shut up, I muttered to myself. I sat up and pulled my bag closer. Just sleep. Morning will fix something. It didn't. My eyes burned. My head throbbed. I reached into the bag, searching for nothing in particular, just to feel like I still owned something. My fingers touched cardboard. I froze. No, I whispered. I pulled it out slowly. An old card. Bent edges. Faded ink. Grandpa's handwriting scratched across the front. I laughed under my breath. Of course you're still here. I remembered his voice clearly. Don't lose this. You'll need it when you feel alone. I feel pretty alone now, I said. Anger rushed up fast. You knew, didn't you? You knew this would happen. I turned the card over. A phone number. A strange symbol I never understood. "It's useless," I said, louder this time. "Just like everything else you left me." I held it over the trash can beside the bench. My hand shook. "Do it," I told myself. "Throw it away." I didn't. I dropped back onto the bench and pressed the card against my forehead. "Why couldn't you just tell me?" A man walking his dog slowed down. "You okay, kid?" I looked up. "Do I look okay?" He hesitated. "No." "Then don't ask," I said. He nodded and walked away. I stared at the card again. "One call," I said. "Then it's over." I stood up and walked into a corner store across the street. The clerk watched me closely. "I need to use a phone," I said. He frowned. "You buying something?" I set the card on the counter. "I don't have cash." He sighed. "1 minute." I dialed the number with shaking fingers. It rang once, twice. A calm voice answered. "This line is no longer active unless you know the name." My heart slammed. "Arthur." Silence. Then, "Please state your relationship." "I'm his grandson," I said. "He told me to call when I felt alone." Another pause. "What did he say about trust?" I swallowed. "He said trust is quiet. Loud people usually lie." Her tone changed slightly. "What was the symbol on the card?" "A broken circle," I said, "with a dot in the center." She exhaled slowly. "My name is Ms. Lewis." I leaned against the counter. "Okay." "You sound exhausted," she said. "I was kicked out last night." "I know," she replied. "That hit me hard." "How?" "He prepared for many outcomes," she said gently. "Are you somewhere safe?" I laughed. "Define safe." She didn't laugh back. "Can you come to an address?" "Today." "Yes." I hesitated. "Why?" "Because Arthur trusted you," she said. "And he asked me to trust you too." My throat tightened. "What is this really about?" "Not over the phone," she said. "Write this down." I memorized the address. "Bring the card," she added. I almost threw it away. "I'm glad you didn't." I hung up and handed the phone back. The clerk raised an eyebrow. "Everything good?" "I don't know," I said. "But something changed." I stepped back outside. The rain had slowed. I sat on the bench again, staring at the card. "Okay, Grandpa," I whispered. "I'm listening." For the first time since the door closed behind me, I wasn't empty. I was scared. And hopeful. At the same time. The building looked too clean to be real. I stood in front of the glass doors and said, "This place doesn't feel meant for people like me." Ms. Lewis smiled lightly. "Arthur said you'd say that." I followed her inside. My footsteps echoed, and I whispered, "I'm not dressed for this." "You're dressed honestly," she replied. "That matters more." We stopped at a door. She knocked once and said, "He's here." A deep voice answered, "Send him in." Ms. Lewis opened the door. "This is Mr. Hale." The man stood and studied me. "You look exactly like him when he was tired." I frowned. "You knew my grandpa." "Knew him," Mr. Hale said. "Worked with him. Argued with him. Trusted him." I sat slowly. "Why am I here?" Ms. Lewis closed the door. "Because Arthur planned for this moment." Mr. Hale slid a folder toward me. "Do you know why your family fought so hard after his death?" "Because they thought there was money," I said. "There was," he replied. "Just not where they looked." I shook my head. "I don't understand." Mr. Hale leaned forward. "Arthur built an investment network over 30 years. Quiet. Legal. Powerful." My heart thumped. "Why are you telling me this?" "Because it's yours," Ms. Lewis said. I laughed, sharp and short. "That's not funny." Mr. Hale didn't smile. "It was registered under your name." I stood up. "No. I was working double shifts. I barely paid rent." Arthur's voice echoed in my head, calm and patient. Ms. Lewis said, He never wanted them to know. "Why me?" I asked. "Why not my father?" Mr. Hale answered, "Because your father breaks under pressure." I swallowed. "And I don't." "You bend," he said. Arthur noticed. I sat back down slowly. "How much?" Ms. Lewis hesitated. "We crossed 1 billion last year." The room tilted. "Say that again." 1 billion, she repeated. "And growing." I grabbed the table. "This feels wrong." Mr. Hale said quietly, "Arthur didn't trust greed. He trusted endurance." Clara's voice flashed in my mind. "You're useless." Evan's laugh followed. "You'll never matter." My chest burned. "They threw me out." "We know," Ms. Lewis said softly. I snapped my head up. "You knew." Mr. Hale nodded. "Arthur asked us to watch." Tears blurred my vision. "He watched me suffer." "He watched you survive," Mr. Hale corrected. I wiped my face. "What does the card do?" "It unlocks final authority," Ms. Lewis said. "Without it, nothing moves." I looked at my hands. I almost threw it away. Arthur's voice returned. "You'll need it when you feel alone." Mr. Hale slid papers toward me. "These give you control." I stared at the signature line. "If I sign, everything changes." "Yes," he said. "And if I don't," Ms. Lewis answered, "then it stays frozen forever." I remembered the rain, the closed door, my father's silence. "I'm not ready," I whispered. Mr. Hale said, "Arthur believed readiness comes after responsibility." My hand shook as I picked up the pen. "I don't want revenge." "Good," he said. "Power hates anger." I signed. The pen felt heavier than it should. Ms. Lewis exhaled. "It's done." I leaned back. "I don't feel rich." Mr. Hale smiled sadly. "That means you're still human." "What happens now?" I asked. "You learn," he said. Quietly. I stood up. "They can never know." "They won't," Ms. Lewis said. "Unless you choose otherwise." I walked toward the door and stopped. "Arthur planned everything." Mr. Hale nodded. "Except how lonely it would feel." I stepped outside. The city looked the same. I wasn't. And I could never go back. Money didn't make me sleep. I stared at the ceiling and said, "So this is what rich insomnia feels like." The room stayed quiet. I sat up and rubbed my face. "Arthur, this isn't funny." No answer came, only the weight in my chest. The next morning, Mr. Hale met me in his office. He looked at my eyes and said, "You didn't sleep." "I don't know how," I replied. He nodded. "Good. It means you haven't gone numb." "I feel angry," I said. "All the time." "Anger is loud," he said. "Power survives in silence." I leaned back. "So what do I do with it?" "You learn patience," he said. "And discipline." I scoffed. "I worked 2 jobs. I know discipline." "You knew survival," he corrected. "This is different." Later that day, he introduced me to a woman sitting across a glass table. "This is Maya," he said. "She'll help you manage the human side of numbers." Maya studied me. "You look uncomfortable." "I am," I said. "Everyone keeps staring." "They're staring at money," she said. "I'm staring at you." That caught me off guard. "Why?" "Because scared people make expensive mistakes," she replied. I crossed my arms. "I'm not scared." She smiled slightly. "You didn't sleep." I exhaled. "Fine." "Over coffee," she said. "What do you want?" "Peace," I answered too fast. She raised an eyebrow. "That's not a plan." "I don't want revenge," I said. "I just want to stop hurting." Mr. Hale watched quietly. Maya said, "Revenge is loud. Healing is boring." I laughed once. "I've had enough excitement." Days passed. I learned to listen more than speak. Mr. Hale drilled me on restraint. "Say nothing," he told me during one meeting. "Let them reveal themselves." Maya added, "Silence scares greedy people." At night, I still heard Clara's voice. You don't belong. I told Maya. They kicked me out like trash. She didn't interrupt. I keep thinking I should do something, I said. You are, she replied. You're choosing not to burn. I bought new clothes. Simple ones. Clean. Nothing flashy. Maya noticed. Trying to disappear? Trying to rebuild, I said. She nodded. That takes longer. One evening, I snapped at Mr. Hale. Why did Arthur let this happen? He didn't, Mr. Hale said calmly. He prepared you. It feels cruel. It feels heavy, he corrected. I learned to read contracts, to wait before reacting, to breathe before speaking. Still, the ache stayed. I told Maya, I feel like a guest in my own life. She replied, then claim it. How? By deciding what you won't do, she said. I thought about it all night. The next morning, I said to Mr. Hale, I won't chase revenge. He nodded. Good. I also won't save them, I added. He studied me. Better. Maya smiled softly. That's balance. I stood by the window later, watching the city move. They think I'm gone. They think you're broken, Maya said. I clenched my fists. I was. And now? She asked. I'm learning, I said. That night, I slept for 4 hours. It felt like a victory. I sat in a quiet room and said, I don't want my name anywhere near this. Mr. Hale nodded. It won't be. Maya slid a tablet toward me. These companies feed into your father's firm. I glanced at the screen. So if they fail, they already are, she said. You're just deciding whether to watch or interfere. I leaned back. I'm not interfering, Mr. Hale said calmly. Then invest silently. Like a ghost, I replied. Maya met my eyes. Ghosts still affect rooms. Weeks passed without a sound from me. Reports came instead. Maya said, your stepmother has been calling lawyers non-stop. I didn't respond. She's selling assets, Mr. Hale added. Cheap ones. I stared out the window. She used to call me useless. Maya didn't comment. Another report arrived. Evan had maxed out credit lines. He's gambling, Maya said. Badly. I shook my head. He always thought luck would save him. Mr. Hale said, luck hates arrogance. One afternoon, my phone rang. I froze. The name on the screen made my chest tighten. Dad, I whispered. Maya watched me carefully. You don't have to answer. I answered anyway. Hello. His voice sounded tired. I heard you're doing a better. I stayed silent. I need help, he said. I waited. There's no apology in that sentence, I said quietly. He sighed. I don't know how to fix this. I did, I replied. You closed the door. He didn't deny it. Clara is under pressure. I said nothing. Evan made mistakes, he continued. I closed my eyes. So did you. Silence stretched. Can you meet me? He asked. No, I said. Why? Because if I speak, I'll break, I replied. He hung up without saying goodbye. Maya exhaled. That was hard. It was necessary, I said. Days later, Mr. Hale said, the board is panicking. Good, I replied. Maya frowned slightly. You sound colder. I'm quieter, I corrected. Another update arrived. Clara had lost control of the house finances. She's blaming everyone, Mr. Hale said. She always did, I replied. Evan's name appeared again. Legal trouble. Bad deals. Maya asked, do you feel relief? I thought about it. I feel distance. That's healing, she said. At night, guilt tried to crawl back in. I told Maya, I hear their voices. She replied, then answer with silence. One evening, I stood in front of a mirror and said, I didn't touch them. My reflection didn't argue. Mr. Hale later said, your investments stabilized the market. Not their lives, I said. That wasn't your job, he replied. Another call came. This time, I let it ring. Maya watched. "You okay?" "I am," I said. For the first time, reports showed the final cracks forming. Clara had been forced to sell the house. I swallowed hard. That was Grandpa's home. Maya said gently, "Homes change owners. Lessons don't." Evan disappeared from the social scene. "Running," Mr. Hale said. "From himself," I added. One night, I said to Maya, "I feel bad." She nodded. "That means you're still human." "But I also feel clear," I continued. "That means you're growing." I stood by the window again, city lights below. "They're falling," I said. "And I didn't push." Maya replied, "Gravity does the work." I breathed in slowly. Silence felt powerful. And finally, it felt like mine. I was reviewing reports when the door opened without a knock. I looked up and said, "You're not supposed to just walk in." My father stood there, thinner, shoulders slumped. "I didn't think you'd see me otherwise." I leaned back slowly. "You should have called." He swallowed. "I was afraid you wouldn't answer." I nodded once. "That fear feels familiar." He stepped inside and closed the door behind him. "This place is impressive." "It's quiet," I said. "That's why I like it." He hesitated, then said, "You look different." "So do you," I replied. He sat across from me, hands shaking. "I didn't come to admire your office." "I figured," I said. He took a breath. "Clara lost everything." I stayed silent. "She blamed everyone," he continued. "But there was no one left to listen." I folded my hands. "And Evan?" "Under investigation," he said. "Bad deals. Worse decisions." I nodded. "That tracks." He looked down. "They're both asking about you." "I'm not available," I said. His voice cracked. "Were you behind it?" I met his eyes. "Behind what?" "The collapse," he said. "The timing. The pressure." I spoke carefully. "I didn't hurt them." He leaned forward. "Then how did this happen?" "I stopped protecting them," I said. His shoulders dropped. "So it was you." "No," I corrected. "It was gravity." He rubbed his face. "I failed you." The words landed heavy, but they didn't hurt. "You stayed silent," I said. "That was your choice." Tears filled his eyes. "I thought keeping peace meant being a good father." "It meant being absent," I replied. He nodded slowly. "I see that now." I watched his hands tremble. "Why are you here?" He whispered, "To apologize." I waited. "I should have defended you," he said. "I should have listened." "You didn't," I said. "And I survived anyway." He broke then. His shoulders shook. Tears fell onto the floor. "I lost my son," he cried. "And I didn't even fight." I felt something loosen in my chest. "I'm still here," I said quietly. "Just not where you left me." He wiped his face. "Can you forgive me?" I thought about the rain, the closed door, the empty bench. "I can let go," I said. "That's different." He nodded, defeated. "Do you hate me?" I shook my head. "I don't carry hate anymore." He looked up, confused. "Then what do you carry?" "Peace," I said. "And distance." He stood slowly. "I don't deserve this calm." "No," I agreed. "But I do." He walked toward the door and stopped. "They want mercy." "I'm not the judge," I said. He turned. "Then what are you?" "I'm done," I replied. He opened the door. "I'm proud of you." I didn't respond. When he left, the room felt lighter. Maya stepped in moments later. "You okay?" "Yes," I said. She studied my face. "You didn't cry." "I already did," I replied. "Just not today." She smiled softly. "That was the last chain." I looked at the closed door. "I didn't win." "No," she said. "You healed." I sat back down, breathing steady. Revenge never knocked. Regret did. And I didn't let it stay. I was scrolling through my phone when Maya appeared behind me. "You've been quiet." "I've been watching," I said. She frowned. "Watching what?" "The world," I replied. "Reacting." She tilted her head. "You mean them?" I nodded slowly. "They don't know it's me." Maya pulled up a chair. "Clara." "Every news outlet," I said. "They're seeing my face and my name, connected to the shift in the market." "And Evan?" she asked. "He's panicking. Losing control. No one is stopping him." Maya smiled slightly. "You didn't touch a thing." "No," I said. "I just let the dominoes fall." I checked the headlines. "Young billionaire behind market shift." My name, my face, the office and my story were everywhere. Clara's photo appeared in a separate article. Her eyes widened. She recognized me instantly. "Do you feel like laughing?" Maya asked. "No," I said. "It feels quiet." "What about him?" she asked, pointing at Evan on the screen, frantic, making reckless deals. "I watched him burn himself out," I said. "And the world watches too." Maya leaned back. "You could confront them. Take credit personally." I shook my head. "I don't need to. Karma is louder than I could ever be." She studied me. "You sound calm. But are you?" I took a deep breath. "I am. And I'm afraid of who I might become if I'm not." She tilted her head. "Then who are you becoming?" I stared out the window. The city moved fast, unaware of the storm behind it. Someone I didn't think I could be. "Explain," she said. "I used to be the boy they threw out," I said softly. "The one who begged for approval. The one they said was useless. Now, the world sees my strength, my control, without me lifting a hand against them." Maya nodded. "And you feel free?" "Yes," I admitted. "But heavy. Power without anger isn't simple." She smiled faintly. "That's maturity." I stared at my reflection in the glass. "They'll never know the truth. That the boy on TV is the same one who cried alone on the bench." "Does that bother you?" she asked. "No," I said firmly. "It's better this way." Another article popped up. Clara was struggling publicly. Comments from business leaders questioned her competence. She had no idea who I truly was. "I used to want revenge," I whispered. "I don't anymore. I only wanted recognition for surviving." Maya leaned forward. "And now?" "Now I can build quietly," I said. "Grow without noise. Let the world handle their guilt." She looked at me seriously. "Are you angry at them?" "No," I said. "I'm disappointed. That feels heavier than anger." The phone buzzed again. Another financial update. Evan had made a catastrophic deal. Losses stacked, reputation tarnished. "I watched him fall without touching him," I said. "And it's the most satisfying and saddest thing at once." Maya studied my face. "You're changing." "I know," I said. "I can feel it." She asked softly, "Do you miss the old you?" "No," I said. "He was weak. He needed validation. I can't go back." "What about forgiveness?" she asked. "I forgave myself," I said. "I stopped waiting for them to." Her eyes softened. "And the world? Does it notice?" I smirked faintly. "They see the surface. They don't know the story beneath." Maya said, "Then who knows?" "I do," I whispered. "And that's enough." We sat in silence. The city below pulsed with lights, unaware of the storm that had passed and the quiet empire rising. "You're becoming a legend quietly," she said. I nodded. "Not by fighting. Not by noise. By surviving. And by letting karma speak," Maya added. "Yes," I said, a faint smile forming. "Exactly that." I stood and walked toward the window. The reflection stared back at me, calm, measured, unshakable. "Who are you now?" Maya asked one last time. I met her eyes. "I'm someone they will never recognize. Not by face, not by fear. I'm finally myself." And for the first time, I believed it completely. I stood in front of the grave, rain misting my face. "I finally came," I whispered. No answer. Of course not. But it didn't matter. "I get it now," I said, staring at the stone. "You didn't choose me because I was perfect." I laughed bitterly. I was weak. I cried alone. I got thrown out like garbage. I knelt down. "You chose me because I survived." Silently, quietly, without anyone noticing. I pressed my hand against the cold stone. I hated everything about being powerless, but now I understand it was a lesson. I shook my head. I thought power meant revenge. I thought it meant fear. I was wrong. The rain picked up. I didn't move. I'm still angry sometimes. At Clara. At Evan. At Dad. But I'm learning to let it go. I sat down on the wet grass. I don't want to hurt anyone the way I was hurt. But I also don't want to save anyone who doesn't want saving. I smiled faintly. "That's what you wanted me to understand, isn't it?" I took a deep breath. "I've been building quietly, just like you said. I'm learning patience, discipline. I've learned silence is louder than any shout." I paused. And Maya helped. She reminded me who I am, not what I own. I traced the engraved letters with my fingers. "You trusted me when no one else did. You saw something I didn't see in myself." "I used to think I needed approval," I admitted. "Now I know endurance matters more than praise." "You always knew that." I leaned back against the stone. "I want to do something meaningful with this, what I've been given. Not for revenge. Not for glory. I want scholarships," I said, my voice shaking. "For kids who were thrown away like I was. Kids who had no one to protect them." I looked up at the gray sky. "And shelters. Safe places. So they don't have to sleep on benches or feel invisible." I smiled faintly through the rain. Power finally feels right. Not heavy or scary. Not about control or punishment. About making life better for those who can't fight for themselves. I laughed quietly. "I'm finally free, Grandpa. Free from anger, from the weight of being powerless, from waiting for anyone to save me." I whispered his name. "I hope I'm doing what you wanted. I hope I'm honoring you the way you honored me, quietly and without notice." The wind picked up, brushing past me. "You always taught me to endure, to survive without being loud, to carry my pain without letting it define me." I wiped my eyes. "And now I understand that enduring is its own power. Not flashy, not obvious, but enough to change things." I placed a small hand on the stone. "I don't need revenge. I don't need recognition. I just need to do good quietly. And that's enough." Maya had once asked me, "Who are you becoming?" I smiled softly, answering her silently this time. "Someone who survives. Someone who builds. Someone who heals without destroying." I stood up. Rain drenched me, but I didn't care. "I'll keep learning," I said. "I'll keep giving. I'll keep being patient, disciplined, quiet." I paused and looked at the grave one last time. "I understand now, Grandpa. You chose me because I could endure, not because I was perfect. And I'll make that choice mean something." I turned and walked away, feeling the rain on my face, lighter than I had in years. I whispered under my breath, "This is for the kids who have no one. This is for the boy who was tossed aside. This is for you, Grandpa." Power finally felt meaningful. I was standing in my living room when my phone buzzed. I looked at the screen and said, "So this is it." Maya glanced up from the couch. "Who is it?" "Clara," I replied. She didn't ask more. She just watched me. I opened the message and read it slowly. "I was wrong. I let pride blind me. I see now what I lost. I should have protected you. I'm sorry." I laughed softly. She finally learned the right words. Maya asked, "How do they make you feel?" "Late," I said. I scrolled down. The message kept going. Regret. Fear. Blame wrapped in apology. "She's scared," Maya said. She always was, I replied. She just hid it behind control. I stared at the screen. I used to dream of this moment. Maya leaned forward. And now it feels small, I said. I hovered my thumb over the keyboard. You don't owe her anything, Maya said. I know, I replied. I deleted the message. The phone felt lighter in my hand. Maya smiled. No reply. No, I said. Silence is my answer. She nodded. You've changed. I walked toward the window. I had to. The city looked calm from up here. No noise. No chaos. I used to think belonging meant being chosen, I said. And now? Maya asked. Now it means choosing myself, I replied. She stood beside me. You did that. I earned it, I said. My phone buzzed again. Another message tried to come through. I turned the phone face down. Not today. Maya crossed her arms. Do you feel guilty? I considered it. I feel finished. She smiled softly. That's peace. I walked through the house slowly. Every step felt grounded. This place is yours, Maya said. I know, I replied. And I don't feel like I need to prove it. She laughed. That's new. I stopped near the door and said, I used to beg to stay. Maya looked at me. And now? Now I decide who enters, I said. She nodded. Strong boundaries. I thought about my father's tired eyes. Evan's panic. Clara's regret. They all wanted control, I said. None of them wanted responsibility. And you? Maya asked. I want purpose, I replied. She smiled. You found it. I sat down and exhaled deeply. I don't hate them. That matters, she said. I don't love them either, I added. That matters too, she replied. I closed my eyes. The silence didn't feel empty anymore. I used to be afraid of being alone, I said. Maya said gently, You're not alone now. I know, I replied. But I'd be okay even if I was. She reached over and squeezed my hand. That's growth. I opened my eyes and looked at the room again. No ghosts, I said. No anger. Just you, she replied. I smiled. Just me. The phone stayed quiet. I stood up and stretched. I don't need closure from them. Maya asked, Because you gave it to yourself? Yes, I said. The door closed when I stopped knocking. She nodded. And you didn't look back. I walked to the mirror and studied my reflection. I don't recognize the boy who begged, I said. Maya smiled. Good. He survived, I said. But he doesn't live here anymore. She stepped beside me. Then who does? I met my own eyes. A man who endured. A man who learned. A man who doesn't need revenge to feel whole. Maya whispered, That's enough. It is, I agreed. I picked up my phone one last time and powered it down. The past stayed where it belonged. Behind me. I walked forward without looking back.